Taika Waititi, baby. And we here to make everything fucking funny. Big facts.
Whosoever hears this audio, if they be worthy, shall possess the inside human and superhuman abilities of the world's mightiest metahumans. Accompanying this journey of high quality nerd commentary, you got my man Colton, aka Pizza Parker, talk to the people.
Yo, it's your boy Colton, aka Gore, the off-screen butcher, aka Thor, 1,000-year-old man child, aka Korg is still alive, aka why?
KY. We also got the greatest engineer in the entire multiverse, my man Gas. Say what's up?
Yeah, yo.
Yeah. And it's your boy Dennis, aka Old Dirty Dennis, aka Asgard's favorite, aka the Mighty Dennis, aka Broden's son, aka D the Pod Butcher. And I mean, come for all you podcasters, my man. You know what I mean? So welcome to another issue of the Mighty Metahumans podcast. Fellas, how you feeling? What's up?
I am. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah. I don't want your feelings for the movie yet. I'm checking on you. You know what I
feelings of the
mean?
movie, but I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
I got some good news today. Pretty good day.
Nice. How about you guys? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm chilling.
Yeah, good headspace.
Good headspace. What's good with you?
Chilling, bro. And I mean, I'm very excited to talk about this movie because I feel like I got a couple takes that don't match everyone else's takes.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean?
Oh man.
For you guys tuning in, we are about to talk about Taika Waititi's. I want to put that first so we know who to blame.
That's a
Taika
fact.
Waititi's Thor Love and Thunder, recently in theaters. Give me your initial feelings of the movie. Without ranting.
Like it's a movie that happened. Like things happened in the movie. I watched it, and I was like, "This is a movie."
Yo, he just looked over at me like, "Yo, take it away, Dennis."
There you go.
Yeah, all right. So my initial feelings of the movie was, I like I was telling you, I was in the theater. I came in prepared, you know what I mean? Because I read these reviews. They trashed the movie, and I was like, yo, I'm already paid for my ticket. Fuck it. Like, I'm gonna just go in there and hate. We just gonna hate watch this, have a good time, hate watching it.
Okay.
And I didn't hate it. I'm gonna be honest, this episode, I hate it.
Okay. All right.
And I'm gonna start it off with a super hot take. It's better than Ragnarok. But I have a reasoning. Yo, he's pacing. I have a reasoning behind this, okay? Hear me out. In terms of direction, who was Ragnarok made for, my nigga? Like, was that made for adults or was that made for children? Or was that an adult movie with kids jokes? Was it a kid movie with adult semi-themes? And at the same time, yo, is that Taika Waititi's car, my nigga?
Yeah, he's like, no, fuck you, dude.
I'm on his side,
I'm going to be 100% honest. Both those movies was equally as good. Every single Thor movie is amazing because I made it, mate.
But honestly, to me, all right, keep.
It's really one of those things where I haven't watched Ragnarok in a long time, and I honestly, when I did watch Ragnarok, it was one of those movies that I was just like, this is a movie, I guess, that are aimed for adults, but also kind of teenagers.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I felt like. It was like a young adult movie. Whereas this movie, like, legit feels like it's for kids.
Yes.
But it just has some highly suggestive jokes that don't make sense if it's for kids.
So that's where I decided, after watching the movie and sitting there, that I think Love and Thunder is better than Ragnarok because it stuck to its theme better. Like, it's clearly a kids movie. This is literally, like, other than the first 5 minutes with Christian Bale, where they kind of caught me with the hezzy, and I thought it was going to be an adult movie, and they were like, psych! And the rest of the movie was, like, literally for kids. Ragnarok felt like, okay, this is an adult Thor movie, but here's these Looney Tune jokes just because. And it just, for me, that's why never really loved that movie the way other people loved it because it felt like, okay, this clearly isn't meant for kids. So why are these jokes here that are meant for kids? In terms of Thor and Love and Thunder, it was a kids movie.
One thing I will say is I don't agree with that only because I'm not saying that I think Ragnarok is ass. I've always said that on wax. Ragnarok is ass. It's booty butt cheeks. Well, the Thor series is booty butt cheeks, but
Yes,
I appreciate the first one way more
It's so much more.
because of like everything. But this movie took us on a real emotional adult ride for the first 10 minutes, lied to us, then became a pee pee poo poo
Lied.
fucking joke movie for like 50 minutes. Then like it got kind of semi-serious again when they like it was like kids and not kids because then they talked about an orgy during the kids movie section. I'm just like, what? This is not for kids. Kids not what the hell is this? Anyway, then you fast forward and then they throw in real emotional moments that is just like, okay, this is here for the adults.
All right,
Like,
so
because that's understanding what's going on. And then I don't, bro.
So
it just I
here's
feel like it was too much. I feel like Ragnarok stuck to the theme better because Ragnarok kind of was goofy from start to finish.
here. All right, so here's my I won't say like retort to that, but in terms of it being a kid movie, is Lion King a kid movie?
Yeah,
Did this nigga not die in a stampede?
yeah,
Was there
but
not
like,
revenge? Did this
but
nigga
hold
not
on, the
fuck
pacing
Nala?
was way better, bro.
Okay, we're not talking about the pacing. We're
Yeah,
talking
we
about the
have
theme.
to though.
We're
'Cause
talking about the
comparing
themes.
two
No,
movies.
because you brought up the themes.
Because okay, so even with themes, right? Okay, Thor Ragnarok had actual adult themes of loss and like fucking losing everything and like it was mad adult themes
but
in
it felt
Thor
like
Ragnarok.
an adult movie, right?
It was an adult movie.
Exact, and that's my problem. It's an adult movie with Looney Tunes jokes.
I feel
versus-
like you giving this movie way too much
I'm
credit.
not
It's
giving-
actually not a kids movie.
It's
not.
This is a kid.
It is
movie,
not.
my nigga.
They're trying to make it for the new generation, I guess for the younger generation to be into it, but this is actually not a kids movie.
This is
it's
not an
supposed
adult
to
movie.
be.
No, it's not supposed to.
They never ever marketed this as a kids movie. They didn't.
They didn't market it that way. And you see, I feel like
That's
what-
misleading.
That's okay. So we can agree on that. It's misleading. But this is a kids movie. You're not going to tell me that you as an adult sat down in this theater and was like, I enjoyed that bow bun joke. That was for children, my nigga. There's a bow bun
And that's
guy.
a fact, but market
Based
that
on-
as being a fucking kids movie, so that I don't go in there tripping fucking balls, and I'm watching that shit on my birthday, and the shit fucking sucks ass, and I'm upset, nigga, because a
See?
goat is fucking screaming in my ear every 5 minutes.
Thank you. You're proving my point. A
Shit,
goat
nigga.
screaming in your ear every 5 minutes was not
God
made for
damn,
adults.
son.
That was a children's movie.
Yeah,
my
but they
nigga.
didn't market it like that, and that's the only problem that I have, because I will agree that this is a very juvenile. It's the most juvenile written shit
Yes.
that I've ever seen from Marvel
Yes.
in a live action
Yes.
thing. But they did not market it like it was the most juvenile shit that they've ever written in a Marvel live action thing, and that is my problem.
You want to know how I definitely feel like it's a kids movie? Because when you think about the trailers, they barely showed gore in the trailers. It was really just Thor doing goofy shit, like stopping the two trucks, like with the Van Damme split. Like it was clearly not for adults, my nigga. Like
No,
none of the
because,
trailers
nigga,
were
what
like, yo,
kids know who
ooh.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is, nigga?
See, but
This
that's
is
the
what
thing.
I'm saying.
No. But that's the thing. They may not know who he is, but Thor doing that is funny. Like him stopping
But
this truck with
also,
his foot.
me as a meathead that knows who Jean-Claude Van Damme is, I see that and I'm like, oh, he's throwing O's to Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
That nigga probably kicking wild ass in this movie.
Yeah, right.
No, nigga, he absolutely did not. And this was my first reaction. Like, if they did that and then had the goats go, ah! I would feel like, all right, this is for kids. Like, you get what I'm saying? They tried to make it seem like he was doing real epic shit out there. And I was vibing as an adult.
I knew it was for kids just because of Ragnarok. Like once they made that turn with Thor's character, and it was like, oh, people enjoyed this Looney Tune shit. This one was going to continue that. We weren't going back to the first.
I mean, Ragnarok's 2-pack of ass. They made
Like-
Hulk a joke. So, yeah,
You know what?
absolutely.
And that's why thank you for bringing it up. That's another reason why I think Love and Thunder is a better movie than Ragnarok because it butchered more characters than Love and Thunder did. Like for me, like you took
I
Thor,
don't know.
you took Hulk, my nigga, and turned Hulk into a joke. You turned Thor into a joke. Like you turned like major characters, strong, powerful.
You think they
character-
not jokes now in
No,
the Love
they-
and Thunder?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. But
Okay,
you know
so
what? Even-
okay, from what I'm getting from what you're saying, because I can understand what you're saying. You're basically saying that is the source of the problem, and that's
Yes.
why you hate it.
Yes.
I understand that, but it still being the source of the problem, I believe that it stuck to like its themes, and it was a weird off balance, but it wasn't as bad as the off balance in this movie, in my opinion.
I just feel like if I judge Love and Thunder as an adult movie, I hate it. If I judge this as a kids movie where Thor is in love in a triangle love affair with his hammers, this is the children's movie.
If I judge this as a children's movie, I say children are smarter than this, and this shit's confusing as fuck and fucking stupid. And I believe children, they like dumb shit because they're dumb. Shout out to children.
They got
But they
butt jokes
fucking
in
dumb
this
and they
movie.
like dumb shit. But I also believe that we are not giving enough credit to children that while sometimes they watch the dumb shit and enjoy it, they'll be like, what the fuck is going on here?
They made this. Taika and Chris Hemsworth made this movie for their kids. Like Chris,
Taika made this movie because he is a child. And Chris Hemsworth is stuck in a 360 deal with Marvel, and he has no say in the fucking anything that goes on. So he has to enjoy whatever the fuck is going on. So guess what? If I get an easy check, I'm gonna get the easy check. Let me tell you something right now. I'm talking so much shit about this movie, but if I was in that movie, nigga, it's the best movie ever to me. Honestly,
You
I
was
got
in
an
love with
easy
your
damn
hammers?
check, nigga, and I got smoked very early in the movie and still got paid for it. But my thing is like, I'm not hating on anybody getting their money, brother. But I will hate when I sat in a movie theater tripping balls for my birthday, watching this movie, thinking in my head, this movie gonna be an easy movie to watch. Easy watching. They said it's a comedy. I'm coming into it knowing it's a comedy. Nigga, we made that prediction video
we sure
already
did.
saying what it was.
Yeah.
I sat there expecting just like low hanging fruit comedy and kind of got rotten fruit comedy. And it was like so like kind of soul shattering to me at some points that it was just like, wow, this is crazy. Like I'm really sitting here on my birthday
even
and this is crazy.
Even which is crazy to me is even the emotional depth to me. I feel like everything that he did in Ragnarok, he did it for me better in Love and Thunder. Because all the people that died in Ragnarok, I didn't give a fuck. Like the three niggas.
I feel like one thing
his
I
three
will
homies,
say
they
is
died, I
that
didn't give a fuck.
in
Scourge-
Ragnarok, the stakes weren't as high as
What?
they
It was a
are in-
planet about to
Hold on.
explode.
Listen. They made sure that they had fake contingency plans for everything. Mad people died or whatever. They made an OD mockery out of all of it. We know that. The movie's ass. I don't enjoy that movie OD. But again, I really like Loki. I really like Thor. Like, I feel like the people we keep saying they keep making a mockery out of, like, not really besides Hulk, which was horrible. The Hulk shit was very bad. It was like very, very bad. And that is why I dishonored that whole movie. Dishonor on that movie's cows. Dishonor on that movie existing. Because what they did to Hulk was fucking nuts. But even then, with Thor, towards the end, I was like, you know what? This nigga might be less of an idiot at the end of Ragnarok. That's how I felt about Thor. This movie, nigga? That's it, baby. Dave Chappelle forever. We stuck here, baby. It's up and it's stuck, nigga. Like, it's no type of anything. It's up and it's fucking stuck.
And here's my all right. So when I go back to Ragnarok,
Mhm.
to me they made Scourge stupid with the dick joke
Yeah,
when he was using the shit.
It's
They-
Taiki, baby.
Yeah. There's who else? Clearly Hulk, clearly Thor.
Yeah, horrible.
Korg, he was funny because he wasn't too important in the movie.
Yes.
Like he just had his rock paper
I
scissors
see you gonna
jokes.
talk about that. God, continue. You about to bring up a point for me, baby.
Yeah, and then when you switch to Love and Thunder, I feel like they didn't make a joke out of Mighty Thor. I thought Jane was pretty on point for the most part. Like she had her little blonde moments or whatever, but they were still funny. They didn't feel like she was like slapstick. They didn't turn Valkyrie into slapstick either. I just I just feel like whatever direction they were trying to go for Love and Thunder, it didn't feel disjointed for me. Because even Christian Bale, who killed the fucking movie, by the way, like
Yes, absolutely.
if there was anything negative that you could say, is he just wasn't in the movie enough. Like other than that, like I thought he wasn't really a joke. Like he had his psycho moments. It felt like he was trying to, bring his own little Heath Ledger, like serious but kind of crazy moments. But at the same time, like, I felt he was pretty serious. He didn't feel too on the nose joke, butchered. Like compared to like compared to a lot of shit to me that came in Ragnarok that niggas love. I just couldn't jack it. Like this, I could fuck with because it was like, all right, these niggas are clowns, but this isn't an adult movie. Like this was to entertain my younger niece or some shit. Like for 2 hours. Even the fact that the movie was like in and out, like 2 hours. Like we are not even keeping your children here too long because we don't want these niggas getting bored and start crying and asking questions. 2 hours of lights, explosions, butt jokes. Get out. Like,
Dude,
ta-da!
I really cannot jack that niggas was not clown versions of themselves in this movie. Like, I really cannot jack that. Like, while Valkyrie is probably like one of the least like clowned out people, I don't even think Valkyrie was bad in Ragnarok. Like, I think she's legit the same person in every fucking movie she shows up in. She doesn't do anything different. It's still a don't care attitude. I want to just be a warrior. She's always been like that. But even in this shit, like I felt like everybody was kind of like a SNL version of themselves. It was like kind of weird. Even with like Jane, like I feel like Jane is one of the least like you can make fun of people out of everybody.
Mhm.
But even within this, like Eat My Hammer, like you wrote a book about astrophysics. Like you could definitely say some way flyer shit than that. Like yeah, like they like the jokes that they had her hit that was like for the children was like, damn, you make her seem stupid. Like and like that was like the jokes for everybody. And it was like Thor was like number one suspect of the shit. Even though I didn't hate Thor in this movie as much, it was just all the quips was like, nigga, you are not Spider-Man. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Why are you saying so much? Like when Gore pulled up and was like, where's the hammer? He was like, oh, your breath stinks. And then he says like, give it to me now. And he said, oh, you really need a Tic Tac. I was like, are you fucking serious? Is this like the first one? I let it go. The second one, like, come on, son, y'all doing too much. And I felt like it was like heavily parody conversation that like sometimes it would be like, boom, exposition. We let y'all know what's happening. We're having a conversation. We're trying to figure out like where we're gonna go from here.
Yeah.
And then it's like joke. Shit is getting serious. Joke. Damn, I'm getting uncomfortable emotionally. Joke.
And this is how it proves my point that this is a kids movie. You know why?
And that sucks.
Because every time you do something too serious, a kid is probably looking at this shit, listening like boring. So you got to throw a joke in to get them niggas back on point, paying attention to the movie, throwing a couple more jokes, and then after the joke, you throw in another quick serious moment like, oh yeah, by the way, Jane is dying from cancer. By the way, her hammer
is killing her. The one that Thor is told her to protect is killing her.
Like I told you earlier, he never specified how long to protect her.
I'm fucking dead.
He just said, yo, protect her. So the hand was like,
but also,
right,
yeah, okay.
too much.
So in the world that this is a kid's movie, even though they didn't market it like that, even though it is a kid's movie, even though they didn't market it like that, and they had orgy jokes and all types of mad adult themed things, even though they didn't market it like a kid's movie, but it is a kid's movie, right?
Okay.
What? It's so much like silly shit was just happening like right after Gore, a beautiful first like 10-minute scene of Gore like renouncing the gods and
It's
finding
like,
out the gods
gotcha.
is like making fun of him, and then the sword comes out the shadows. We could talk about that, how
Yeah.
that wasn't utilized more because we needed more Gore.
Where the fuck
honestly.
was the necro?
And the Necro's sword was moving crazy throughout the whole movie, but like they only showed us like 10 minutes of it, but I mean 5 minutes of it, but whatever.
Facts.
And then it's just Guardians of the Galaxy, Tom. And
All
I
right,
was
I
telling
love
you,
them in the movie.
and I was
honestly.
telling you that my theory that made me like appreciate that scene more is that Star-Lord being just mad annoyed and giving low effort to Thor was all of us that were adults in the movie theater that like felt like, what the fuck kind of silly shit are we watching? While Thor is just being Dave Chappelle and Peter Quill is just like, and we know that nigga's immature. And we know he's like the lesser version of
Yeah.
Thor, like kind of in a way, but we like, oh, he's actually a responsible adult right now. And Thor's in his face trying to make jokes and hit him with this pissy
With the
snake
snakes.
handshake. Get the fuck out my face, grown ass man. I'm going with my family and I'm gonna leave. And what I should have did 30 minutes into the movie, but it was just like, I will say that moment was like a pretty like lit moment of him going through the shit. Even though Korg, you know how I feel
Probably
about
the worst.
Korg.
I feel like what hurt the movie is Taika wanting a bigger role in the movie.
Yes.
Because they could have kept Korg, but Korg's role should have just been like, okay, here's all this serious shit happening, but we're going to tell it through the eyes of Korg. You know what I'm saying? Like Korg
Yeah.
could have been like, oh, there's this guy and he's trying to kill gods or blah, blah, blah. And then they show the actual scene
Yeah.
in serious mode and just have him narrate it in a funny mode. And that would give you the balance of, hey, this is for adults, but at the same time, we can feed it to children.
And that's what was my problem with like the pacing, because it started off so serious and so like silent, like all the sounds and shit was like basically everything that was happening with Gore in the desert and everything crazy. You hear the god sounds and he gets the sword and you can hear and like it's like amazing, and then it just a legit snap you out of the reality, and it's like, oh nigga, this is a Taika Waititi comedy, nigga. Like, are you serious? Like, this is not gonna take itself seriously, like at all.
At all.
And like almost at all to a detriment, because it's like, in my opinion, like while Thor can be funny and quippy because it's like, nigga, he's not from here. Of course he's gonna be like displaced, and that's gonna make a bunch of jokes and make things funny.
Yeah.
It's almost displaced in a way where it's like, well, where have you been?
Yeah.
Because I just watched 22 movies of you being throughout that, being with niggas like Captain America, Tony Stark, Ant-Man, Clint, fucking Natasha,
See,
like
and
all
that's-
these, and
I
you
will say-
didn't learn anything from
I feel like
anybody?
that's my problem with not the movie, but Thor as a character between both movies. Is okay, let's say he was displaced in the first movie, which is the type of comedy I liked for Thor, because
I like that.
like, hey, I do this on Asgard, but on Earth, this is weird to people.
Yeah.
I get that. But over the course of all the movies, his character, like we talked about before, has regressed when you compare it to Captain America, for example, who
Yeah.
was patriotic and America this, America that, and then by like Civil War, he was like, yo, fuck America. Them niggas is I don't fuck with them niggas. Them niggas be up to some shit I don't really be fucking with.
Or
And
even
then
niggas that I hate, like Tony, who
I was just
were
about to
like,
say
my
Tony.
whole life is just making sure the country's good, making sure destruction,
And
making
then
sure I'm
after that, he
protecting. And he was like,
changed.
my family. I care about a family. I want to actually have a family. I want to
I'll
get
do
away
the
from that.
sacrifice. Like
I'll sacrifice myself for
all
people.
these people went through these changes, and then Thor went from like displaced to not even serious or not even following the balance. He just became like a man child. And it's
And
like, who did you learn this
he
from?
kept losing people. He kept losing and getting displaced. And you would feel like, even though you're going through all of that, you keep going through that, at some point you'll probably harden up and figure some things out
Yes.
emotionally within yourself and shit. And it, like, I feel like Taiki, like, is using his emotional loss as a punchline of a joke, and it's not funny anymore. And that, I feel like, was probably my issue with like this movie.
I think that's my issue with his perception of the character Thor compared to like Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like where Infinity War, he was still funny, but he was serious. Like that once, and it's not, and that's another thing too. Like I feel like that movie showed that Chris Hemsworth can be funny and he has emotional depth. Like there's that one scene with him on the ship with Rocket, and he's
Yeah.
talking about like, like getting the hammer, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he was like, "Oh, do you have any family?" And he was like, "Nah, my mom died by a dark elf,
Yeah.
and I lost my girlfriend, my best friend died, all
My
my
brother
people are
died.
going, yeah, my brother died." And he's like, "Yo, you sure you can handle this mission?" He's just like, "Yo, lost makes you focus," or some shit like that. Like a
Yeah.
moment, he was like, "He's never fought me before," and he was like, "Yes, he has. He hasn't fought me twice."
Yo, that's a fact.
Like it was funny, but at the same time, it didn't make him seem like a clown. You know what I mean? It still made him seem like, oh, this is clearly the God of Thunder, but he's having a moment where it's just like, yo, I've never dealt with some shit like this and
Yeah.
taken a loss. And then his character went from that to like now. Like it's just like you can tell when different directors have a perception of what a character should be based on the past movies and the things they've been through. And it feels like Taika did not take any of those movies into account. And
And
was
like,
just
while
like,
I will say Thor is always strong in like every movie that he's in, even this movie is no exception.
yeah,
of
he's
him
still
being
strong.
like
I just mean as a
Thor for real.
person.
But like, just he's not. I would never expect him to be a leader of anything
Never.
ever, as strong as he is
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy that like he's been here for this long and like you still can't even look at him and be like, damn, he's reliable.
No.
Like that shit is nuts to me because he's Thor, nigga. Like, and I don't know. The movie just, it is a kid's movie because we got goats 5 times throughout the movie just yelling.
Bro.
I will say, let's talk about some of the good.
Okay. Like I said, Christian Bale to me,
Christian Bale,
top tier.
amazing. Every time he showed up, even if it's like a little funny, it wasn't even him being funny. It was him being dead ass, and the moment made me like when he showed up in the cage with the kids telling the stories.
Yeah,
that was an amazing scene to me. I was like, oh shit, that nigga dead ass terrifying, and like he's like, you could tell he's trying not to be scary, but he's even more scary because he's trying not to be scary.
Here's one thing that I definitely want to throw in there that you just made me think of is they asked Taika about director's cuts, and he was like, "There's no director's cut to this movie," because he feels like director cuts are kind of like saying, basically you shouldn't have a director's cut. Whatever movie you put out, that should be the perfect film. There shouldn't be a director's cut, and that bothered me because that means there's scenes with Christian Bale that you cut out of the movie that could have made the movie even better. Like for me, like him cutting off.
I feel like I don't agree with him at all. That's a horrible opinion, in my opinion, because like him as a filmmaker should know that when you make your first film or like when you make a draft of something, that's not your first. That's not what you're gonna put out to the world.
Exactly.
So I know he's done drafts of the movie, so he's technically lying. Like a director's cut, like anything you like, just be like, this is it, and then you send to the studio, and the studio's like, we're gonna cut all of this, call it all this. Nigga, that's not your film, technically.
So
but I get what he's saying because he got the snipers at his crib. Kevin Feige snipers.
I just did not like that because again,
because that means you cut out a lot of serious situations.
There's a lot of shit that happened with Gore the God Butcher that we don't get to see, and that's why I keep landing on this is a kids film because there was no way they were going to show him cutting the
People
religious
up and
shit
shit,
off of his like face. Because one minute he has his tattoos, he gets the sword, and the next minute he has all these scars over his body.
How do you get that?
Yeah, exactly. That would be some shit you show as an adult. Like, oh, this nigga renounced his religion. He cut all that shit out.
They wasn't gonna show him killing a bunch of the other gods either.
Exactly.
So it was just like, but Gore did amazing. Team Kids in a Cage. That was a great moment. Like that shit had me dead. It was like a fucked up joke, but that shit had me dead. That kids scene was amazing. And honestly, this is where I will agree with you, but then also push back on what you're saying is because I truly do believe if they fully was like, this is a kids movie and then had the kids involved way more, this would have been a way better movie.
You know why they didn't say
way better movie.
You want to know why they didn't say this is a kids movie? Because they would be getting the reactions they're getting now before the movie came out. They want butts and seats, nigga. Like You would have. What's the likelihood? A
I
lot
would
of
still go.
a lot of adults would not have went.
I would have went though.
If they went,
We
and
would have went go.
I would
But
have
like,
went.
I get what you're saying.
If you saw in the commercial Thor: Love and Thunder, a bunch of little Asgardian kids with little
I'm with it.
Nigga, you're gonna like, yo, what
I'm
the fuck
with
is this?
I'm immediately down. I like chaotic children. Like nigga, I seen that scene and was just like, I swear to God, if this was more of the movie, I would dead ass watch it. Like even like in the beginning when Korg was telling that story about Thor fucking like the wolf ladies and this woman and this woman. I was like, if they made it an arc where like mad at those kids was like, we might be your children. Like and like Thor's like, that would have been even cooler. Like it would have been even more hilarious to me. Then he found out they're not his kids, but they still like they Asgardians, so they still wildin'. I would have been like, this would probably be a better movie, in my opinion.
They were not going to do that.
They were not going to do that because Taika wanted to lie about Korg having a mom in Ragnarok. And
Let's
then
talk
now
about
say
that
he
for a
got
second,
two dads.
'cause
We can talk about Taika being a liar.
Because
that's his own movie.
Because I definitely went back and because I made a hot take in the beginning of the episode, and I said that literally as I left the theater, I tweeted it, and I said, Love and Thunder is a better movie than Ragnarok. And I wanted to stand on that, so I went back and I watched Ragnarok. And this nigga definitely mentioned that he had a mother and father that were supposed to be a part of his revolution and they didn't show up. Actually, no, they showed up. The rest of the people didn't show up. And then in this movie, he was like, yeah, I have two dads. And
when we become a mountain and then that's
and
and
that's
like,
how
yeah, you're a liar, dude.
And just
This is
like
your whole movie.
Just like I was telling you, I was like, yo, he's not even like stepping on somebody else's coat. Nigga, this is your movie.
Nigga stepped on his own coat from the past and the future. Like, yo, that shit is crazy. Like, how you even fuck up your own continuity?
I was like,
that is another thing that was just like, even that quote of him saying director's cut shouldn't exist is pure bullshit, in my opinion. And there probably was an actual cut. And here's where I'll say we're both right.
Okay.
Because I believe the original shit had dark shit in it. And Disney seen it and was like, nah. Because and this is me giving Taika Waititi credit for the first time ever.
Okay.
I watch What They Do in the Shadows on Hulu, which is a show that he's legit written, and it's on like his 3rd or 4th season right now. And that show reminds me of Thor if Thor could make adult jokes. And it's so fucking good. And I can understand him sending something in with a bunch of, because like Team Kids in a Cage is a dark joke. And I fucking was crying when Thor said that shit to the kids kidnapped.
Yeah.
And I was like, if he could do more shit like this would probably be lit. And I believe that Kevin Feige got the snipers out and he sent his director's version. And they was
100%.
like, that's not happening. And then they did what you said. This is a kid's movie,
this
secretly.
Is a kid's movie.
This is dead ass a kid's movie. This is dead ass Disney. We're gonna cut this much shit out. Watch it. It's good, right? It's good. We putting it out.
Because like I told you, you think of the original Avengers, Iron Man, Cap, Natasha, Hawkeye, Hulk, and Thor. Thor is the marketable kids one. Like they don't market Captain America for children. Like
they know Captain America's some boomer shit.
Iron Man is not for kids. Yeah. Natasha is not for kids. Hawkeye is not for kids. Hulk, okay, maybe now, but
now because he's just Mark Ruffalo with green skin.
Yeah, but Thor is the kids' hero.
But guess what? Guess what? We just cracked the code. You was right, and they had to put Hulk through the Thor so he could be a kid's toy.
There you go.
They was like, let's put him through there. And now he's kid friendly.
Yeah, because honestly, like we were just talking about before we even recorded, like who did Thor pick this up from? Like none of his friends are this weird.
Nobody from the original Avengers is a man child. Everyone's mad responsible. Like everyone's wild responsible. Yeah, and you know what's crazy is that's why I even be like he regressed like mentally and like emotionally in ways, because from the beginning when he was displaced and then he started fucking with the Avengers, he was like, I'm catching on to things. Then he was in like shit by himself, meeting other, and like he still was just like, I got Tony, I got Cap, like
Yeah.
I got Hulk, like I could talk to Bruce, I could talk to this nigga, I could talk to this person. Like he started getting cool with like Sam and them, and like
Yeah.
he had a bunch of people who were responsible human
So
beings
where
or
did
like
this come
whatever.
from?
And now I feel like once cosmic shit happened, that became the excuse for like he could go off world and just become stupid, like because like he hasn't been around for
Which
so
planet
long.
is
Like
this though?
nigga Asgard, remember? And then it got blown up, and then he moved to fucking Alaska and was still didn't understand how shit worked, which doesn't make sense. Niggas been living in Alaska for mad long. It's 2026 in the MCU right now. Niggas been living in Alaska for a minute. How you don't understand nothing?
How did everyone else in Asgard find their way to Earth and they're more mature than he is?
Bro,
Every one of them.
Heimdall's son named himself Axel after Axl Rose. That nigga knows American rock and roll. First of all, let's talk about it. What crackers was
Relax.
I have to bleep that out. What white people was teaching this damn kid only about rock and roll? Why he couldn't name himself Run DMC, huh? Why he couldn't name himself DMX or Jay-Z?
Oh shit.
Why couldn't name himself Rakim? Why he got to be Axel after Axl Rose, the white man's band?
Oh shit.
I'm sorry. Shout out Axel though.
Oh my god. And this is what you guys would get if you sign up for our Patreon.
That's a fucking fact. Cause yeah, we can't just drop that. Dropping those goddamn slurs.
Oh man. All right. So another good thing for me in the movie, even though I could also say it's a bad thing, is I did like Russell Crowe's take on Zeus.
I did like it too.
Because
I enjoyed it.
that feels more realistic of what Zeus would be like versus the super serious,
I was
super
gonna
strong.
say them sneaking in there's influence here from the I'm Thor because I follow the Greek mythology was like amazing, and then they did that for 0.5 seconds, and I'm just like, is that not lit to anybody else but me?
It's for
like,
children.
Even his portrayal of what a god is,
I like it.
Fire.
I feel like that's what a god would be like. Yo, I don't care about humans, nigga.
Yeah,
like y'all
what the
pray to
fuck?
me. What losers? Like I'm trying to be for the orgy, my nigga. Like what are you fucking talking about
Big
right
facts.
now? Like so I did like his take. Again, I do like Jane because I felt she was quirky in the way that she's an astrophysicist, but she's weird as just a person. Like she has these degrees, and it's just like Mark Ruffalo. Like he has all these degrees, he's super smart, but at the same time, he's not socially inept.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I did like her take on Mighty Thor. I do like that a lot. Like you said, Valkyrie's Valkyrie. Like
She's just the
you
same
wasn't
person, bro.
You was not going to turn Tessa Thompson into a joke, my nigga. I don't give a fuck if he was the director or not. She's gonna play Tessa Thompson.
I feel like I gotta give Peter Quill more credit.
Okay.
Like, honestly, still not a great actor. They can still just be like, but this was a perfect. I feel like this was a perfect role because it was like really like, can this nigga please get the fuck off my ship? Like he is so annoying, dude. Like, and I feel like that should translate to him being more mature in the next movie.
I would hope so because it does feel like he had to take on the serious role to match Thor's kid's role.
Yeah,
because the Peter Quill from the first two Guardians movies could not be next to this Thor right now. Like
that's
it would be two
even
children.
Endgame Peter Quill couldn't be.
Yeah, like it's literally two children babbling back and forth. It wouldn't be entertaining. So I do feel like they had to make him a little bit more serious to match him. So like it's kind of like a give and take sort of situation.
True.
And like you said, like they got the fuck out that film.
Yeah, I should have did the same. Shout out to Guardians for doing that.
And I feel like that was probably one of my favorite parts of the whole movie was the Guardians. I was looking forward to see how they handled their style of comedy with the slapstick shit that Taika did. And they stayed just long enough to give you a joke or two and then just leave. And that was it.
Yeah. Even though they had one of the worst jokes ever, which was like when they was all in the room arguing at the same time and the goats was yelling. I was like, Oh my god! I like closed my eyes in the theater and I
That
was
is
like,
literally the
please let this
worst. I would
stop.
say that is 100% the worst part in the movie is the goats, and I feel like
They
for
overstayed their
Taika,
welcome, bro. They could have.
exactly.
He could have hit
I
the
was trying
rule
to
of threes for comedy,
I
right?
was trying to find a way to explain that with Taika, where it's just like there's no way you watch this and kept thinking that was funny. And then again, it goes with my theory that this was for kids. You can do the same fucking joke with a child 10 times and they will laugh all
Yeah, it
fucking
is
10
like a
times.
peekaboo type
Yeah,
situation.
like they'll just keep laughing. So I felt like if it was for adults, it's like, okay, they're goats and they scream. We get it. First time. Maybe I'll let you get it a second time. But this nigga did it like 6 times. And that's when I was just like, this is not for me. This is literally for children. And if this is for children, it's a great
And
children's
I
movie.
have
I can
a,
put a kid in front of this and go smoke or some
I
shit.
have a low key thing that I like.
Okay.
Lil Gore, man.
Okay.
Lil Eternity.
Yeah.
I fuck with Lil Eternity.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't make any fucking sense, like what even is fucking happening right now?
Listen.
Like what like it like the third act happened so fast, and I was just like, I'm kind of enjoying this because the kid's going crazy, and then Thor started kind of going crazy, and then Jane pulls up in the fucking on the Pegasus, and she's going wild, and then she breaks the fucking necro sword. Oh no, this nigga breaks the necro sword with Mjolnir, and I'm just like, what?
And that's why, at that point I turned my brain off. Like I said, this was a kid's movie because the necro sword is the same sword that sliced the neck of a celestial, and that's how he got nowhere. And this sword was destroyed by a broken hammer.
But then it breaks, and I'm like, brain off, right? My brain is off. Okay. I don't know what's about to happen now. Then the nigga goes into eternity.
Into eternity.
And we see eternity. And I'm just like, nigga. My brain was off. But like now I kind of got to turn it on because this is actually a crazy big deal. Like I'm looking around like there's nobody else like understand the ramifications. And then because eternity is like not omniscience and understands everything that's happening. It could definitely bring back a version of his daughter. Brought back the version of his daughter that she is eternity. And then that Thor adopts her.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, okay. And then we go back to this nigga Korg is back.
Yeah.
Well, he would never left her for real, but he's just talking about Mighty Jane Thor, and I actually like that part. And they had the statue of her in Asgard, and then he talks about, and then we see Heimdall's child training with Siva with one arm, and then we see Valkyrie training the other kids, and then
Lady Sif was also there.
They show us fucking Thor and little Gore eating breakfast, and she shoots eye lasers at him.
You know what that scene reminds me of? It reminds me of the ending of Insecure.
Oh yeah,
where he still was taking care of what's his name, kid.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, like,
and like she shoots the eye, and then he's like, "Here, hold Stormbreaker," and I'm like, "Oh,
isn't this the same Stormbreaker that you told Rocket that if a normal person held this, they would disintegrate?"
Yeah. Oh, but no. But that's eternity, nigga. Eternity's holding Stormbreaker. It's different. Eternity can do whatever the fuck they want because Eternity's a god. So now this little Gore, baby Gore, is Eternity, is God, and is holding Stormbreaker. And they jump up in a Spy Kids 2 ass scene to like destroy all the bad monsters for the good aliens. And I was just like, okay.
I feel like, you know what it is? I feel like Taika Waititi does so much with like warping important things that happen within like the Marvel universe, like bringing in Infinity, having Celestials, that the reason why we can't get another director to join is because they wouldn't even know where to go with this.
What the fuck would they do? Like, honestly, what the fuck would they do?
How are they supposed to continue this?
Even in my head, I know Kevin Feige is like, I got a plan of like what we doing with this. But like, I also know, and I don't care. I believe this is 100% true. I know he watches these shits and be like, "What the fuck?" Like, I know, like he'll like give him a general direction of how to do things, and I know he watches them and goes, "You so lucky kids love this shit, son." Like, because what
this
is
shit
happening?
bombed.
So if this bombed for real, it's not gonna bomb. That's the thing. Is Marvel already has everybody by the teat. Like it's too late. Like even if you wanna like. the thing about Marvel is they brought out the hate watchers,
Yeah.
which is bringing them even more money.
Yeah, because people
Which
will
is
go
like-
there and say, I don't like it, but I'm gonna go see it just to hate it.
Which is even why now I don't go into things hate watching. I just go into things either with a less expectation or maybe a little bit higher expectation. But when I do, I let people know. Like,
Yeah.
I have a high expectation of this because blank. I've never been really a Thor fan. I'm not gonna.
Thor MCU
This shit
Thor or
was-
just
this
Thor
shit-
the
just
character?
MCU Thor.
Okay.
But like this
This shit right here.
might be. I don't know, man. I might have to rewatch Ragnarok, honestly, to see if I do hate Ragnarok more than this. But this shit was ass. And then I don't even remember 2. I watched 2. I don't even remember it.
Here's my thing with 2, and people aren't gonna like
But
this either.
it's better
2?
than I remembered.
2 is actually better than I remember. The weakest part of 2 is the villain.
Yes, the villain sucked.
If they made the Dark Elf a bigger thing, it's a better movie. Because I didn't hate Thor in the movie. I didn't hate the jokes. I didn't hate Jane. It's just the villain was completely forgettable. Like, absolutely forgettable.
I might say it, man. I might say this might be the worst Thor to me. This or Ragnarok. I gotta rewatch Ragnarok.
Ragnarok just...
People really like Ragnarok, bro. And the thing about that is, like, I remember when I watched Ragnarok in theaters, I was like, wow. So we're joking now.
Yeah.
Like, niggas is funny now.
In the intro scene with, like, Surtur, and he was on the
oh, shit. I was
chain
like, oh,
spinning
we are-
around. And I was like,
we
oh.
joking.
I was like,
right?
oh, okay.
And then I remember watching 2, and it's very just boring. I think that's the problem with 2. Like, it's like pacing is slow. And like the villain doesn't really have like the buildup that you would think that a villain like a dark elf would have.
Yes.
So it ends up being kind of boring. And like 1 is kind of perfect to me. Like 1 is kind of perfect to
I
me.
would have wished we got more. Okay. I won't hate on it because I was about to say I wish it had more action, but they did fight what you call those
The
guys?
big ass fucking guardian shit.
Yeah.
But like I
Okay,
wish
okay.
it did have more action, but it started off in like such a great like place in my opinion.
Okay.
And then 2 was kind of boring, but it wasn't that bad. And then Ragnarok was just like, wow, okay, y'all just trying to. This is not.
This
okay,
is yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
And then this one was just like, oh, we doubling down. Okay. I guess this is for the kids.
See, I told you, it's a kid
But
movie.
like even then, that is horrible.
It is a
to-
fucking
it's not,
kid
it's
movie,
not even
bro.
horrible to me, but I hated it. I'm highly disappointed. That's my word. Highly disappointed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's the way I think your problem with this movie is the same problem I had with
Ragnarok,
Doctor
bro.
Strange.
Oh, yeah, true.
Which was they sold it in a way that it didn't deliver in the
Yes.
way that they
Yeah,
sold it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So
And I didn't even expect much, but like even what I expected, they lied.
they lied.
Facts. But
Why
yeah.
you niggas worship
Y'all
him?
keep saying kids movies, but I feel like that's underselling how bad it was.
That's what I am also saying. I feel like that's not an excuse
I don't even
for
think
it.
that. I
man.
don't even think that's a good phrase.
I
in,
feel
a
like
kid movie.
I feel like they lied. Like y'all lied. If this is supposed to be a kids movie, say it's a kids movie, bro.
They're not
Like, the
gonna
shit
do
is
that.
not like the shit was like. I feel like Taika needs to stop doing them.
I think we
I
should do
100%
an
agree.
honest episode about how bad all the Marvel shits have actually been.
Oh, we can
Because
talk
like
about
I
that.
feel like we
We gotta do it. We gotta say
we've
that
given
for
them
episode.
more
That's it, though.
credit,
We saving. We
more
gotta
credit
save
than
it.
they actually deserve. And you might not agree all the way, but even Spider-Man, low key, rewatching it was like, but we could talk about
so-
What do you mean?
I'll say one thing about the Spider-Man. Like I feel like this. Is
it. No. Don't give it up yet.
Okay.
Next
Okay.
episode.
Okay. Because I had a take, but I ain't gonna do it. All right. Final rating. What do you give it out of 10? What you got? I feel like he's thinking really hard.
Nah, I mean, you can give it your rating. I'm about to look in my letterbox because I did give it a review.
Oh, I did read that shit. 100% read it. All right. So my rating, if I'm basing it, like I said, off a kid movie, I'm gonna give it a 6. It's not getting higher than a 6. That's the best I can give it.
That should get a 4 out of 10. I don't know. I didn't like it. I did not enjoy it like that. It really like blew mine.
All
Who
right.
do you blame for this movie?
Taika
Taika,
Waititi, the director.
100%.
1000%. Once he went the Ragnarok route and that shit sold so
And
much,
people loved
he
it.
was like, I'm gonna double down and make it even more quirky.
Yeah.
And it worked
And
against
well,
him because he
so
even
y'all
went
y'all
against
blame
himself.
y'all blame him, but yet y'all wanted him to put a director's cut.
What
Which
are you talking about?
who
No,
is
I'm
that not
saying
the
that
same
I
person
feel
who
like
had
he's
who said he
stupid to
didn't
say
want to
that
put a
there's no such.
director's cut?
He's an idiot. Yes, because then the director's cut would have probably been way better, but Disney's not gonna allow that to go out.
So you blame Disney then?
I blame him and Disney, both of them.
Okay.
Because
I
why
100.
would you
I,
think
I
a director's cut shouldn't exist? It's
no.
a movie.
The reason why I do blame Taika is because he took Thor into this direction.
Yeah.
Like once he took him in Ragnarok and he turned Thor into what Thor is now versus the Thor that we knew, everything after that is literally his fault. Like he turned him into this joke where
Okay,
he's this
and that's what
Bale
I'm saying.
Mimbo.
Regardless of a director's cut, that I don't know if this movie would have been any better, to be honest. He
No,
could have
it
added some
honestly,
scenes.
I don't think it would have been like 100% better. I just wanted it for the
It would
Christian
have been a
Bale
little
scenes.
better. I don't
Like
think it would have been great.
I wasn't
but
thinking like, oh, like he cut out the serious parts for more jokes. I felt like aside from like the butchering of like Christian Bale, like
Yeah.
the you know, like his tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I want to see just because I felt like Christian Bale wasn't in the movie enough. Like he's the most serious person in the movie and he is
He's in
maybe
there for
15
like 10
minutes.
minutes, 15 minutes.
Tops. Like
So that's you cut a lot out.
so I wasn't expecting like the director's cut to be an amazing film. I just want those scenes. Like you don't even have to call it director's cut. Just put those scenes out and I'll be okay with that. So, like I said, I give it a 6, you give it a 4. Do you have any final things that you want to say about the movie before we wrap?
It was ass. I was highly disappointed, son. Like they lied to me for that first 10 minutes. It was really crazy. Like it was like really one of those things where it was like, okay, y'all probably do have a cohesive story. Y'all probably do have like a good balance. And then they just said, "Fuck your balance," and then slapped it out my hand, like after the Marvel credits. And I was just like, "Damn."
All right. So all right, before we wrap, shout out to our Patreon. Shout out to all the people that support us on Patreon. Let me give you the list. Tana, shout out to Tana. Shout out to Drizzy. Shout out to Sheem. Shout out to Wolves Den. And shout out to Skip. Know what I
Yeah,
mean? Shout out
Skip.
to know what I mean? Shout out to the Gene Lannon community. Sign up. The link will be in the description below. And as always, this has been another issue of the Mighty Metahumans, providing you with that high quality nerd commentary. Please subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend, follow us on Patreon, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, everything as The Mighty Metas. And you can find me on all social media sites as Old Dirty Dennis. That's OLDIRTYDENNIS. And you can find my man Colton.
Colton Show underscore.
Show.
It's 2 underscores on Twitter, and then the Colton Show on everything else: Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. ColtonShow.com.
Nice. Send us home. Give us a quote.
Fucking bullshit ass jokes in that movie every 8 minutes.
Yo, we out.
I hate those goats so much. Son. Really
Oh man, I knew that shit was coming.